Okay. We are now recording, just so everybody's clear. All right. And I'm going to assume that you're going to need me to share screen. Is that probably correct?
Yeah, that'll probably be helpful.
Okay. And then we are going to go to Blackboard. Oops, I think we're going to go to Blackboard. Oh, shoot. I thought I had it pulled up already, but maybe I don't. Oh, excuse me. This is part of my issue. This is why I'm sympathetic with learning to navigate Blackboard, because I'm still learning to navigate Zoom. So I get the frustration. Here we go. There it is. Now I found it. Okay. And now I can share. All right. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Over here on the left-hand side, you see where my cursor is going vertically? This black box or charcoal box, that is your index. That's like your table of contents or index. And so this is where you want your eye to go first when you log on to Blackboard. I'm going to select this first item at the top of the index list. It says home page. Everybody got that? Okay. And that's going to take you to this opening site. And some of these functions Truman has not purchased, but I will tell you 2 functions I use all the time are this announcements box and the my tasks box. 3 times a week, you should log on to Blackboard. Pretend it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday course, okay? And you should always check these announcements. I will post an announcement at least every Friday. And most of you got the notice about this boot camp because of the announcement that was an additional announcement this week, right? Is that how you got word of it?
Yes.
Now, something to know about announcements is they come to you as emails. They're posted on Blackboard, and an automatic email is generated from every announcement. But you have to be watching in your Truman email queue, because it'll say Blackboard and a whole bunch of numbers. It looks like it's a computer program sending you a message, but it's really me. It's really me. So click those open, okay? Open the emails in your queue that have all that Blackboard gobbledygook on them, okay? Because that's me trying to get in touch with you. All right? Okay, now ready for your question. That's just start and get on, and your eyes should be over here on the left-hand index. But now I'm ready for your specific questions. Where are you struggling?
Does anybody else wants to start, or should I be the icebreaker?
And Cameron, I need to tell you that when I'm sharing screen, I don't know how to see the chat. So I may miss things if you are writing questions in the chat. I might not see those. Would
She only says to yes, record, please. So far, that's all the message that
okay.
she posted.
All right. Okay.
There's no.
Thank you, Gabrielle. If you could sort of keep tabs on that, I'll try to address any questions that come in the chat. I think they're going to leave the floor open to you, Gabriella. What's your first question?
Okay, so I pretty much managed to find my way around, which is I'm comfortable with. What messes me up a little bit is the deadlines for, like, I know we have individual assignments and then we have the team assignment, and with the key sentences and the React paper and all that, there's a little bit of a blurriness there. So I'd like to understand, what is it, or how do I follow up what's on, like, due date as far as the personal assignments, and then what's the due date for, and how, like, yeah, like that part is like a very little bit chaotic.
Okay, you've given me a suggestion. I'm going over here to the course information tab. All right, did you see that? The second item down, course information. I'm going to go over to that tab, and I'm going to click on this course calendar. And you've given me an idea of something I need to add to the course calendar. Maybe I need to add that which assignments are individual and which are team onto the course calendar. Would that be helpful, do you think? Maybe that's where you're looking for that information here, maybe.
Yes, I just know that I have things that I need to do, like separate, and then I have stuff that I need to do with my group, but those deadlines, it's like I just couldn't find my way through. And I did printed everything, as you can tell. I'm pretty prepared. I'm reading everything that you're posting, but just some of the things of the deadlines, I wasn't able to figure it all out.
Okay. That's really good for me to know, because I think what I'll work on tonight is adding some of that information into this overall calendar. And that may address confusion for a number of students. Okay. So I will commit to working on that this evening. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to tell you that I try to have that information on each assignment itself. So for instance, let's go to module 1. And in January 11 last week, class discussion board, I tried to make it clear that this was, the class discussion. He tried to make clear that this orientation test is an individual submission. Okay. So I've tried to label each assignment in the whole course according to what it is. But the part you're missing is seeing it all laid out, how many on what dates will be individual and how many on what dates will be team. Is that, am I understanding correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I will add that to the calendar tonight and post an update. And I'll also have that out in the announcement that goes out tomorrow, so everyone will know. John and Cameron, is that something that would answer some of your questions?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't really aware of what needed to be done separately either, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have thought of that, but I just, I just didn't realize that that would be a missing piece for you. So thank you for bringing that up. Okay. I will tell you that the method to my madness is that there is an exercise in every chapter. Okay. So every yellow folder is a week and usually corresponds to a chapter in the textbook. And there's an exercise of some sort every week. Most weeks, now that we've gotten going, most weeks the exercise will be a team exercise. That's because I want you to talk to each other, want you to talk out loud to somebody about what you've read. So the module tests will be individual. Your final exam will be individual. But the bulk of everything every week is going to be team. So don't be surprised if that's the pattern you see on the new calendar that I'll be creating tonight.
Okay.
Yes, John?
So if we just go to that module thing and just click module 1 and then click on this week, is that everything? Does that include everything that is due this week, or would we potentially miss something if we only do that?
If I've done it right, you shouldn't miss anything. And that
Okay.
means that if I've done it wrong and you miss something, that's on me, not on you.
Okay, so that's an effective way that we could go
Mhm.
about keeping
Yeah.
up with everything.
Yeah, I've
okay.
tried to put everything for a chapter all in one yellow folder.
I have a question about this. So where it says here, scroll to the bottom of the page of the chapter resources to view and complete 2 chapters, 16 individual assignments. So we're reading chapter 2 instead of chapter 16, or see, this is where I'm like lost. For this, I'm talking about this week, ma'am.
Yeah.
Here.
I've got you now. Yes. Yeah, the chapter number refers to the actual chapter number in the textbook, and I do not do them in order. Don't
Okay.
you hate that about college faculty? We don't do the textbook in order. I'm sorry.
Because I have it here, like I'm somebody who likes to go by the book. So
Yes, I know.
You know, A on page XXY or
No.
whatever page, I'll scroll there, I'll mark it, I'll do that. But then here I was like, complete 2 chapter on 16 into it. So I was like, wait a minute,
Wait a
like I'm
minute.
lost.
Yeah, no, that's apparently something that college faculty are just born and bred to do. We do things out of order in the textbook. But I will tell you, here's a clue for why these chapters are unified. This module is about curriculum and reform in American education. Well, your textbook didn't treat reform until the end. But I want to start where we are right now in United States education, and that's in the middle of reform.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back in time. My modules are the themes, and that's how come the chapters from the textbook aren't in chronological order. Okay.
Okay.
I'm putting you through the information that pertains to that theme.
Okay, so now we're still reading chapter 16.
Yes,
right?
we are doing
And now
chapter 16.
we're completing 2 assignments.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you've all figured out, you click on this title. When it's underlined like this in Blackboard, it's clickable. And then it takes you to the enclosed materials for textbook chapter 16.
Okay.
All right. And see, there's the individual exercise. And I've tried to say it's an individual. And here that doesn't, yeah, it says it's individual. And then look, here's a team discussion board.
Now, but what's the due date for that? For the team discussion
Oh,
board?
I guess I should put it on the discussion board itself. Everything you see here is this week.
Okay. So basically the 24th is Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, I try to make the due dates on Sunday to give you more flexibility, because I know students have jobs and things like that. So I've tried to move off of the Friday due date and onto a Sunday due date.
Okay.
Now, I will just say, spread to your teammates, don't try to do a 3 credit hour course all on Sunday. Remember, if you were meeting in Truman space, we'd be meeting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, John and Cameron, did that address some questions for you?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we need to go over? Let me show more of that index for you. Oh, I know, in the teamwork, I suspect we need to go over this. Teamwork is about how you're going to do it. When you're trying to connect with your team, see this groups tab on the left? That's what you're going to click. Now I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take you to a page that doesn't look like yours because I'm the instructor, but I'm going to click on it anyway. Okay. When you go to your groups page, you are only going to see the team that you are a member of.
Mhm.
Okay. And you already have, Gabriella, do you know what team number you're in?
I am in team number 7. the last-
7. Okay, I'm going to click on that one since, and I'll show you. We're going to open the group. Again, this doesn't quite look like your page, but it will give you an idea. Once you click into your group, you'll be able to see the other members that you're going to be working with and look at these group tools.
Mhm.
You can file exchange, set up a blog, create your own discussion boards, do a journal. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. You can set tasks for each other. When you start writing collaboratively, you may want to set tasks for each other. You can do a wiki. Maybe that's the way you want to start the drafts of your paper. And look, you can send email. So you already have access to the emails of all the members of your own team.
Mhm.
You don't need to try to scavenge that some other way. Also, as group assignments start peppering through, those will also show up down here. So that's another way you can distinguish between group assignments and individual assignments.
Mhm. And then there was somewhere where you said we need to give you editor or edit access, or what was it? So you can go and put your reflection and response directly. Where would that be? Or how do we have to do that individually, or
No.
just one person in the group gives you the access for?
Just in the group. To show you how that works, I'm going to go back to module 1. And we'll go to next week, chapter 15. Okay. And that is chapter 15, not chapter 3. Week 3, chapter 15. Okay. And let's look at this chapter 15 team assignment. I'll add that information to the team assignments so that it's clear. If you where I've put that is on the teamwork tab, and I can see now I need to have it on the actual assignments themselves. I'm assuming that teams will meet via Zoom or WebEx or something like that. We have had teams meet with conference call, and that works fine too. Anything that gets you processing together.
Mm-hmm.
But then I want a document that preserves something of the essence of that talk, and that is the answers to these prompts. I prefer that you do it on Google Doc, because then each contributor is visible to me.
Mm-hmm.
When you grant me edit privileges, by granting me edit privileges, I can also comment.
Mm-hmm.
And so all my comments will be on that Google Doc that your team creates together.
Okay.
All right. And for team assignments, if any one team member submits it, it looks like all team members have submitted it in Blackboard. So only one person needs to submit.
Okay.
Now I'm going to give you whiplash here and go back over to this teamwork tab. Nope, I don't have it there either, do I? So that's a piece of information that's really missing. Okay, so that's something else I need to amend tonight. You're giving me a to-do list, you folks. Now, it's also true that I have teams who bobble the instructions or never do get it or whatever. And if one of you sticks something in the assignment submission link, I can usually get it one way or another. And if for some reason I can't, I'll contact your team.
Mm-hmm.
students have to have a chance to engage the material. That's the bottom line. So your team is not going to get a 0 because we're having trouble connecting.
Mhm.
So when we do the group assignments, do you want all of us to turn it in or just one person?
Only one needs to turn it in, because a reason you're in teams in Blackboard is so that everybody on that team sees that submission. So I only need it once.
Okay.
In fact, if more of you turn it in, it stacks behind itself in Blackboard, and that can glom up the works.
Okay. And then just to be like reiterate and be clear, you're going to like make sure you know which assignments are supposed to be done with the team and which aren't, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will put that on the calendar.
Okay.
That information is actually here under teamwork on an item in narrative form, but I think you all need it graphically on the calendar, right? Yeah. See, teamwork grading. So I will try to reformulate that calendar so it's all in that graphic. All right. What else? I guess I don't need to show the course management part. Y'all don't have that part. What was tripping you up, John or Cameron? Have we got something else we need to address?
No, you've answered pretty much all of my questions.
I think I'm a little more clear on everything now.
Okay. All right. The important thing is to ask before you're totally muddled. Okay. I'll do whatever it takes to make it clear. Anything else?
Mhm. So for this Sunday, then what do we need to work on? Is it only individual, or we already have teamwork?
You have, I believe, one group discussion board.
The one with the introducing ourselves and
Mhm,
why we
mhm.
think you put us in the group and
Right.
okay.
If it isn't in this
Mm-hmm.
folder, you don't do it that week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say that. You can work ahead. I'm fine with that. But what's in the folder for the week is what's due for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You
Now,
got
I did
Mhm.
watch all your Zoom presentations.
Mhm.
I watched the interview with Miss Diane Ravitch about all those extras that you, because like, as I said, like when I study, I like to like try to make it as organized as I can. So I'm taking a lot of notes. And as I said, like I'm also constantly on the vocabulary to make sure that I'm getting the concepts right.
Mhm.
But then like related sources is something that you just put out there to read it like mandatory, or just you just adding extra information to widen and broaden our knowledge if we're interested to read it?
The
Because
related resources are usually supplementary. One of
okay.
the reasons I have related resources is because students come to this class with so many different future directions in mind. Some want to be teachers, some want to be principals, some don't want to be in education at all. They're taking the course because it's a writing enhanced. Some are political science majors and just want to understand the phenomenon of American public education. So, you know, there's so many backgrounds and directions, future directions. So I have supplemental materials.
Okay. The reason why I asked this, ma'am, is because like I started reading the chapter 16 and it's pretty long. So I started panicking that, oh my God, I know I have to be finishing it by Sunday, but then I saw all the other information on the folder where we are here right now.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I didn't know if I should hurry finishing up reading the chapter or already I should start watching the extra information there, because I just didn't want it to run out of time. So at this point, I didn't know what is the mandatory reading that we need to do, that it gives us the most essential information relating to the chapter, and then I'll try to fit in as much as I can
Right,
from the extra information
right.
that you shared.
I
So-
will tell you, Gabriella, you're not alone. There's more reading in this course than any single student can do. I
Mhm.
do not expect every student to do all the reading.
Mhm.
Okay. When I say things like related resources, you can see here each group member will be expected to read at least one.
Mhm.
Okay. And hopefully different ones, because then when you come together to answer the discussion prompts,
Mhm.
you'll bring varying positions to that discussion.
Okay.
And I'm counting on each student choosing different related resources based on their background and their future goals.
Mhm.
So there's no way and no reason to read everything provided on Blackboard.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, because like, it was very overwhelming.
Yeah, oh, it would be terribly overwhelming. And that's why I try to say here, each
Prioritize.
group member will be expected to read at least one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are you guys with me? Do you guys feel the same, or I'm just the only one being overwhelmed here?
You're not the only one, Gabriella.
John, Cameron, back me up.
I haven't started that yet, but I probably would be if I did.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a lot.
Yeah. And I don't shy away from that. In the syllabus, I do say it's a readings heavy course.
Yes.
One of the problems with the course is it used to be a 3-course sequence. And the legislature has cut the amount of time we can spend on it, but has not removed the required learning objectives. Somebody needs to explain to the legislature how that isn't going to work. So there we are. But that's another reason I put you in groups, because if each person in the group takes one of the resources, then we're going to be okay.
Mhm.
We're going to get most of the ideas.
Okay.
Now, I also do say in the course materials, but I'll reiterate here for you all, and you can talk to others, okay? The module quizzes are drawn entirely from the textbook.
Okay.
Your React paper is going to be asking you to draw from Blackboard resources.
Okay.
So that may help you identify what to focus on.
Okay.
Does that help, John and Cameron? Is that a question you hadn't thought to ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what else do we need to address?
I have another question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, about the definitions, like I watched your Zoom presentation, and then you were talking about the different tests for the criterion, norm, achievement, aptitude test, and all that. If I'm still a little bit confused, is there like a glossary somewhere where I can look back, or because right now, like, I need to like write out what is what and understand what's the difference between them. And I didn't know if there's like a glossary at the end of the book, or where should I go to get the exact definition for which, for example, test is what.
Okay. I have a link here. This is under the first week materials. Okay, I know I'm giving you whiplash. Hang on. Okay, under the yellow folder that's for January 11 through 17, the first week. Now I'm going to roll down again. There is an item here that is the glossary of education reform. And that's a link to a glossary that you can use.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't know off the top of my head, does our textbook have a glossary? I should know that.
I believe I couldn't see, but I might be wrong.
Oh, it has a bit of one.
Or maybe, maybe a little one, but I know I didn't find
but it didn't have those terms. It may not have had all those terms in it because that lecture is not over the chapter, is not over a chapter in the textbook. So, but yes, there is a glossary and it's right before the index. And I'm just looking to see if it has norm referenced, and I don't think it does.
Yeah, it's page 483. That's where it starts.
Yeah, the textbook, that lecture is not based off of the textbook, so I'm kind of not surprised that those terms are not in the textbook glossary. But see if this education reform glossary helps you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I will also tell you, COVID has reinforced a philosophy that I've had all along, and that is do as much as you can and do that much well, and then stop. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. I'm not, like I'm just taking, a day at a time, or
exactly.
And then
it's
I'll
better
as much as I can. And when it's becoming like too much, or I feel like
stop.
It's like too chaotic and I'm just reading, but it already doesn't make sense. Then that's when I have to do something else.
Exactly. Stop.
We'll get some fresh air. Yeah.
And maybe that's all you get done for that chapter.
All
right. I don't know how often you'll have a professor tell you this, but it is educationally more durable. Your learning is more durable if you do less deeply, do less things, do each one deeply. That yields more durable learning.
Okay.
So in your React papers, for instance, I'm going to ask you, you can check the React paper rubric, it's all up there. I'm going to ask you to select a theme that's meaningful to you that emerges from the selection of Blackboard resources and textbook readings you have done. I don't expect every student to have read all of the textbook chapters and all of the Blackboard resources. I expect every student to have read enough of each that a theme of meaning is emerging. It's one course in a lifetime. Okay, John and Cameron, what do we need to address for you two?
I think you've answered all my questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here. I think I'm okay.
All right, so you're raring to go, right? Trying to get out of here, right? Okay, if we've addressed all the Blackboard questions, I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to stop the share, and now I'm going to stop the recording.